Haunted by Kimberly Saint. That's me. So today's poem meditation is Delicious Rhythm. There's this beautiful gift in life where we get to find, discover, and create our delicious rhythm. You know, it can be, the normal way might be more like find the routine, but I find routine, I use routine so that other people can understand and connect to, but I find routine to be a little bit more structured and more like, yeah, do that. But now I've kind of started to call it my delicious rhythm, and finding the rhythm. I feel like the rhythm's more flowy and more vibey and just going with the rhythm. So finding my daily rhythm, which is created and made up of my daily habits, which as I stack these daily habits and do them every single day, I create my life. So navigating what that looks like for you is very important, because it's the little steps, that the little habits that you take every single day create your delicious rhythm that create your life. And so it's important to have an idea of what you want in life and who you want to be, and then what are the steps that would help you get there. So for me, I love to wake up, I love to make a coffee and read a book, at least a chapter of a book. And then I love to do a yin yoga meditation. I think meditation is very grounding, very clearing, and just helps me start the day on a very peaceful note. And then I like to go on a walk, 20 to 40 minutes, depending on, you know, what the time is that I have. And I listen to a podcast. And I think those things for me, when I put myself first like that, it sets me up for success for the day. And I find it to be very important. And I'm also finding my rhythm with writing, because I do like to write, but at the moment I would say the way I've been writing has definitely been more spontaneous. Like, I have this idea in the moment and then I have to write it down, or I'll write it down later, but it's like more go with the flow of spontaneous. And I am working on really bringing it into my delicious rhythm on a regular daily basis to just see what happens. And so I'm kind of finding my writing pathway, what it looks like for me. And these videos have been very helpful because I wrote all these poem meditations, and now I'm like talking about them, and then I want to see like what's it like, okay, now the next month or two just writing about them every day, because I really enjoy getting what's inside of me, getting it out. And I find that getting it out in many different forms is really helpful. And so I wrote the poems themselves individually. Now I'm speaking about them, and then I'm going to write about them more deeply. And that's just a nice little delicious rhythm that is coming naturally from me. And I don't want to call it a routine, because that feels like too much pressure and too much intenseness for someone who's a beginner writer. Like, and I'm just kind of finding my own pathway to becoming a writer. I'm discovering what works for me and literally creating my own pathway, because there's no like one way to do a thing, and every writer is completely different, every human being's different, every creative pathway is different, and you just got to figure out what works for you. works for you to get the pen to the paper, or like whatever it is that you're doing that's your creative outlet. How do you find your delicious rhythm that helps you get it out? Because I also think when you get it out of you, you're creating space and making room for more. And that's what I want to do in my life, is keep getting it out and keep growing and evolving and stepping into the next version of me. I really enjoy the process of that. And I think for a while as well, during the time of getting it out, you know, there's like a few years or a few, I'm not sure how long, but for me it's been a couple of years now where I'm kind of still on the same thing, you know, I'm saying similar things, or I'm still on the poems, and I'm just really working it out, and I'm noticing that other people do that too, and I'm like, oh, interesting, because mostly what everyone's saying is they're teaching what they're learning or what they've learned, so they're just sharing it and then resharing it as it needs to be. And I just think that's a beautiful gift of learning how to find your delicious rhythm, learning how to share your creative experience, and learning how to live the life you want that is from a creative foundation. Because as humans, we are so creative. Like, that's just like innately who we are. It's to our core, we are creative. We are creative human beings. And so I wonder, like, what comes naturally to you? And also, what are you interested in? Can you take steps towards those things today and find your delicious rhythm? I also think outside of that, it's really important to really look after yourself and create a really good foundation that is a safe place where you can create, where you can be you, where you're accepted. And for me, the yin yoga meditation is something that helps me create a safe place inside my body for myself. And that is really important, because then when I create a good foundation for myself, it's harder to shake me, you know, for someone else to rattle me, because I am solid. I'm really building a solid foundation that is me, by really navigating the habits and the delicious rhythms that I want to do, that builds me up and makes me the person I want to be in. And I think that is a little gift, a little secret key, is pursue what you want, but really make sure you're looking after yourself and taking care of yourself. Self-care, self-love, all that kind of stuff. Really make sure you're on your team and creating your delicious rhythm and finding the habits that help you get to the place you want to go. Because when you're on your own team and you're looking after yourself, you will go far. You will go so far, and you will find the right people when you are looking after yourself and really in your lane. Also, when you're in your lane, you're so busy doing your thing, and you're not like looking over here and being distracted or like judging, or, you know, like being in that world. Like, that's a different way to live. But when you're busy just doing your thing, you're so busy, like you're busy writing, you're busy creating your thing, and you're just doing your thing, and then along the way you will meet people. That's natural and normal. But when you're not doing anything and you're just looking around, can be a scary place to be, because that's when you start like judging people or judging yourself, or like just living a different life. And that life isn't ideal. What is beautiful and ideal is really doing the work to be in your lane and create all the things that you want to create while you're on this earth. Create the delicious rhythm that you want to live, that is your lifestyle. You get to create that every single day. If you're like having a shitty life where you're not enjoying life, you have the creative power to change your life, to do the things that will help you completely become the person you want to be, the person that you love, and the person you're inspired by. You can become that. You are that. You just have to find all the little habits, all the little bricks to lay down that will help you get to the spot. So I hope that you are enjoying your life and finding the things that really work for you, that are healthy and helpful, and that you just enjoy the pathway, enjoy the life that you're living. That's what it's for, you know, finding yourself, finding your people, your community, and just creating and living the life of your dreams and enjoying the world that we get to live in. It's delicious. It's amazing. So let's find your delicious rhythm, baby. Let's breathe. Delicious rhythm. Now, as you go throughout your day, I want you to think about this poem and what it might mean to you. Okay, bye.